So you think you know prog rock, eh? Well, think again. These aren't your usual Yes, Genesis or Pink Floyd picks. We're diving into some of those overlooked prog legends that you simply need to hear before you pop your clogs. That's brightened the mood up no end, hasn't it? And this is the next in a series of videos where I've looked at the bands that were criminally overlooked. Now, all these bands have been suggested by my subscribers out there, so thank you for that. And if you have more suggestions for me, note them, if you will, in the comments. Now, progressive rock, as we now know, is much more than mellotrons and 20-minute epics. It's a universe of bands that push boundaries, fuse genres, and vanish before the mainstream ever caught up. Today, I'm shining a light on some of these overlooked but incredibly important prog acts, each with a unique sound, story, and a few songs that'll hopefully blow your mind. Now, Cressida were a band from London formed in 1968, and these were part of the first wave of prog rock, and yet they've remained criminally underrated. With just 2 albums, their 1970 self-titled debut and 1971's Asylum, they created a sound that sat somewhere between the pastoral feel of early Genesis and the orchestral ambitions of the Moody Blues. Led by keyboardist Peter Jennings and singer Angus Cullen, Cressida's music was rich with Hammond organ, mellotron, and carefully arranged guitar work. It's symphonic, yes, but it never got bogged down by complexity. Every track has a feel of purpose and emotion. Start with To Play Your Little Game. A melancholic track that showcases Cullen's soft vocals and Jennings' warm organ textures. Then move on to Asylum. Beating his head on the wall. A sprawling mini epic with tempo changes and expressive solos. Let Them Come When They Will is a haunting closer with sweeping dynamics and unforgettable finale. Cressida didn't stick around long, but they didn't need to. Their music speaks quiet volumes, and for those that discover them, it stays with you for life. Second up, Happy the Man. These were formed in Virginia in 1973, and this band is one of the most mind-bending groups the US ever produced. No vocals needed. Their instrumental blend of classical composition, jazz fusion, and futuristic textures created something utterly unique. They were discovered by Peter Gabriel while he was auditioning musicians for his solo band. While it didn't pan out, it did lead to a record deal and 2 extraordinary albums. Happy the Man in 1977 and Crafty Hands in 1978. Their compositions are tight, layered and bursting with character. Try Stumpy Meets the Firecracker in the Stencil Forest. A quirky, shape-shifting piece is full of humour and virtuosity. Or Service with a Smile, a frantic display of time changes and melodic runs. And for something deeper, Open Book offers a more reflective side to their sound. They showed the world that complexity could be joyful, even emotional, and became skilled storytellers. Third up, let's talk about Finch. They were formed in 1974 in The Hague, and this band might not have made it big commercially, but they sure made it musically. They had serious instrumental firepower. These guys could shred, but it wasn't just for show. Their music wove together prog rock and jazz fusion in a high-energy, unrelenting blend. Their debut album, Glory of the Inner Force in 1975, and the follow-up, Beyond Expression in 1976, these guys really shined. Check out A Bridge to Alice, a mysterious, really almost spacey track that swells into heavy distorted grooves. Pisces brings a faster Mahavishnu-like attack with searing guitar and soaring synths, and Paradoxical Moods is a long-form journey showing off their ability to balance aggression with restraint. Finch didn't care about hit singles. Their music was wild, worldless ride. And for prog fans craving instrumental intensity, they're an absolute treasure. Next, let's dive into the world of Atomic Rooster. Founded in 1969 by Vincent Crane after leaving the crazy world of Arthur Brown, Atomic Rooster straddled the line between heavy rock and progressive experimentation. They weren't afraid to get dark, lyrically or musically. Their classic album, Death Walks Behind You in 1970, is where you should start. The title track is a gothic march through eerie riffs and Crane's thunderous organ work. Then there's Tomorrow Night, that big hit combining a heavy groove with hypnotic vocal line. And don't miss Sleeping for Years. It's all sharp edges, snarling guitars and apocalyptic energy. Atomic Rooster built their own strange, smoky world, and it still sounds ahead of its time. Now, Pete Sinfield is probably best known for his vivid, poetic lyrics for King Crimson and ELP. But he only made one solo album, 1973 Still, and it's a beautiful outlier in the prog universe. Now, instead of bombast, Still is full of atmosphere, orchestration and dreamlike melodies. It starts off with the Song of the Sea Goat, maybe the most hauntingly beautiful piece Sinfield ever wrote.
Oh, can't you hear, sang the sea goat, the nonsense.
Under the Sky revisits an early Crimson demo with added polish. And Envelopes of Yesterday brings in orchestral drama and an emotional weight.
At 5 o'clock you could never wash, your printer stayed away.
Still is delicate, eccentric and really often overlooked. But for fans of the softer, more lyrical side of prog, it's a one-of-a-kind experience. The strangely named Henry Cow, formed in 1968 at Cambridge University, were prog at its most uncompromising. Forget choruses or catchy riffs. This was music as confrontation, living in the heart of the beast. From 1975's In Praise of Learning, is a radical spoken word, infused epic that builds into pure chaos. Ruins, composed by Fred Frith, is a math rock ancestor full of bizarre meters and rhythmic puzzle pieces. And Beautiful as the Moon, Terrible as the Army with Banners, is both a warning and a lament. Now, Henry Cow weren't for casual listeners. They dismantled music norms and rebuilt them in their own image. And their influence still echoes in avant-garde prog and experimental music today. Now let's take a look at Curved Air, who were formed in 1970, and this band brought something totally different to the prog scene. Fronted by Sonia Christina, one of the few women leading a progressive band at the time, and backed by virtuoso violinist Darrell Way. Their sound fused classical influences with psychedelic rock and theatrical flair. Their debut album, Air Conditioning, was one of the first picture disc LPs, and it sounds as unique as it looks. Start with Backstreet Love, their surprise chart hit.
Summer's coming, time to dream the day away and
It's full of mood and momentum. Then dive into It Happened Today.
it happened today. It happened today.
With its lush arrangement and soaring vocals. And don't miss Metamorphosis, a sweeping, shape-shifting epic that feels like a full opera of 10 minutes. Curved Air specialised in breaking musical boundaries, and cultural ones too. Now, these videos have been very popular with lots of opinions and suggestions, which I thank you for. Now, if you do have more suggestions, let me know in the comments below. The first of these videos is now part of a playlist. Check out the details in the description. But that first video I shot is the one I want you to watch next. And I'll see you over there.